So this is my third build video, and you can already tell I've gone from fun pastime to full-blown hobby by the amount of extra crap shown on the screen I got. It went from 2 to 3 cheap basic tools for the first 2 builds to a full shopping bag for this one. Now that doesn't mean I've lost it or become totally obsessed or anything yet, but I'm just pointing out the progression here. Now this build video is kind of a mixed bag. Take this audio for instance. So in case that was a bit hard to hear, that's a YouTube video playing in the background. And just about all the original audio sounds like that, as if you're an old person who forgot their hearing aid while frustratingly only being able to make out bits and pieces. As I did the actual video over several days, that background speaking noise from YouTube can be heard pretty loudly at times. Also, if it's a loud point where I was doing fraction second edits for like the nippers, it starts to sound like an eldritch god is about to get summoned. Here's an example of that. So you can see how that kind of destroys the sound for the entire video. By the way, shout out to the YouTube channel you hear in the background. It's called Weird Movies with Mark. He's like a PG-13 family-friendly bad movie reviewer, by which I mean he uses some sexual innuendo and on rare occasions will cuss, but when he does, he bleeps it. Anyway, I think he's pretty funny, so if you're looking for something to watch, give him a shot. Anyway, back to my crappy video. So obviously I am still making a lot of major mistakes in this video, but the reason I said it's a mixed bag is there are a few areas where you can see some notable improvements. The biggest improvement being I actually have video of the entire build. For those of you who didn't watch my first 2 Trainwreck builds or forgot, I lost like the first 70% of the first build's footage and about 20% of the second. As I said in those videos, the very bare minimum requirement for a YouTube video is actually having video. So I've gone from failing by default to failing on its own merits. And yes, despite having all the footage, I would still give this video a failing grade. I'll get into more of the reasoning in a bit, but needless to say, I wouldn't have this as part of my Trainwreck series if I thought it got so much as a D grade. I just want to quickly cover the other areas of improvement. So the lighting is decent throughout, and really one of the only things I feel deserve a passing grade. I also had notable improvement on keeping the work in camera view, but it's off-center a lot of the time. It's zoomed out and can be hard to see, and my head does dip several times into view. Here's an example clip of that. So you can see it does dip in, but at no point does it obscure the view of what is happening, and it is substantially less than the last 2 videos. Finally, getting away from the video and toward the build itself. I actually used primer this time, which, shocker, made things stick and do so much better. It also helps that I moved to using alligator clips and properly setting the pieces up instead of laying them directly on the ground before spraying. So now onto the other things I failed at. So we covered the audio, how the video isn't always centered, how my head pops in from time to time, and how it's zoomed out to far. What we haven't covered is the camera itself doesn't have a firm mount, so it has a tendency to wander southward instead of staying centered. As I would bump into the table, it's on. As you can see from the following clip, this results in me inadvertently flashing you guys. So yes, you will see London, you will see France, you will see Gunpla builds underpants. So now you know. Between boxers and briefs, I'm a boxer guy. Also, in my defense, this was shot during the middle of summer, and I wasn't exactly expecting my lower half to be seen or recorded. To sum up, the audio is unusable. The view is too far out to get a good look at what's happening, and I've committed a low-tier sex offense by flashing you. So despite improvements, I'm still gonna have to say this video failed pretty hard. I had this edited down to around 20 minutes of build video, meaning there's like another 15 minutes of this, but because I don't really have any more to say, I'm just going to save you the suffering, cut it out, and go straight to the finished picture collage, which I again tried playing with some effects and think that at least turned out fairly well. Oh, I nearly forgot to say, I did do custom colors for this Banshee. I made the dark blue a matte black and changed the joints and fingers to a gold. I think the overall effect and look turned out really well, even if the video didn't. I'll just leave you with 2 final things. First, I again injured myself to the point of bleeding, which the current video clip should be showing, proving once again how dangerous I am to myself and others with any kind of sharp object in my hands. This is going to be an ongoing theme with me. Second, it would be unforgivable if I didn't thank my cat Zazzy for constantly climbing in the box and rubbing his fluffy butthole all over my Banshee model. I'm sure that him polishing it up made all the pictures turn out so much better. Thanks for watching, and without further ado...